Hello, my fellow investors, and welcome back to another viewer requested fundamental analysis video. We got two more companies here in the wheel, guys, so we're almost done with this. And I kind of just want to get through this wheel because, I want to cover the earnings in a much better kind of view. So with that said, let's spin this wheel and let's see what company we should analyze today. Okay, and it's very, very obvious. We got the company NCLH. Now, NCLH was brought up by, well, I already had it on you. NCLA was brought up by Red Firefly, so congratulations. And like always, guys, let's take a look at this company, their fundamentals, their previous earnings summary, and then let's see if at the current share price, this is looking like a buy. So with that said, let's get started with this analysis. Alright guys, so this is the company Norwegian Cruise Lines. Okay, this is going to be an interesting one. I already took a look at the numbers and yeah, it's already looking kind of sketch. Not even going to lie, kind of sketch. So obviously it's a company that needs no introduction. The cruise lines in 2020 as well as the airlines fell a massive amount after the pandemic, and a lot of them, this one included, has not recovered. So let's take a look at this one. Now, normally, we would take a look at what the company actually does. However, I mean, the company operates Norwegian Cruise Lines, Oceania Cruises, and Regent Seven Seas Cruise brands. There we go. That's pretty much it. They own cruise liners. So there you go. Now, when taking a look at their previous earnings, we could see that the EPS normalized actual came in at 30 cents, beats by 4 cents. EPS gap actual, 20 cents, misses by 2 cents. Revenue of $2.21 billion, which is beat by $34.72 million. So let's jump now into the calculator. This is going to be a really quick video, guys, like straight up. Wait until you guys see those fundamentals. It'll be, it's not surprising in the slightest. We got the ticket for NCLH, market cap of $6.4 billion with a PE of NA. Yeah, so turns out that their net income has been in the negatives these past couple years, and I believe it's still in negative, which is why the PE is still in the negatives. So yeah, current share price of $14.96. Taking a look at this on the 1 year, we can see that this is up 13.51%. Year to date, okay, never mind. I thought this was a lot lower, but no, it's 26.14%. I'm very, very curious though on the 5 year. Yeah, look at that. After COVID, this thing took a massive just dump from what, $58.22 down to what it is today of $14.96. We can see here that the 52-week range, it is 1176 to 2275. So you can see, not recovered. It has not recovered one bit. Now, I do want to see this on the 10-year. You can see that, yeah, man, COVID just did a number on it. And if we take a look at this on the max, we could see that, yeah, it's just COVID just nuked this company from orbit at this point. So really, really unfortunate to see, but I mean, it is what it is. It's a lot of companies got hit. Some of them have recovered, yet for some reason, this one has not. Again, I don't really know much about this company, at least when it comes to like what they actually do. I don't invest in this company. All I know is that because of the whole cruise thing, they did get hit a lot. I haven't even taken a look at much of the airlines. I don't think the airlines have recovered either, but I don't think that the other cruises have recovered as well. So I think this just might be like a sector thing or like an industry thing. So if that's the case, then yeah, take this all with a grain of salt, I guess you could say. Coming back over here, we can see that they don't pay out a dividend, which means all of this free cash flow is going straight into themselves. However, guys, take a look at this free cash flow. The 5-year average is negative $1.5 billion, and the last year's is even worse, negative $1.57 billion. So yeah, we can kind of guess what grades I'm going to give this thing. So let's take a look at these fundamentals, and yeah, right off the bat, guys, net income. We got 5 years ago of $954.8 million, 1 year ago of negative $2.3 billion. All right, yeah, you can see that COVID hit this thing hard 3 years ago, and then it kept falling down 2 years ago. They're bringing it back up, but man, do they have a long way to go. Again, on the 5 year, this is a massive drop of 338%. I would love to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I just don't know. This is such a weird industry with a lot of headaches. So based off of all of this, the fact that it has been 3 years and they have still yet to recover, guys, I have to put this thing at like a, I don't even know, 10% at best. Looking now into the free cash flow, very, very similar to that of the net income. In fact, I would actually argue it's worse. We got 5 years ago of $508.4 million to 1 year ago of negative $1.57 billion, decrease of 410% with an average of negative $1.52 billion. Again, massive, massive drop. I mean, even 4 years ago, they were barely in the positive, but that's a massive drop from 185 down to negative 3.5 billion. Sure, they have recovered this and they look to seem to be in the right trajectory, but it's just a lot of, I don't know, man. I just don't know. I'm going to give this a 5%. Looking now into the revenue. You know what? At least we didn't get negative revenue because, I mean, you can't get negative revenue, like in all seriousness, right? But the revenue actually is looking kind of, I guess, good. 5 years ago of $6.1 billion to 1 year ago of $4.84 billion. That's a decrease of 20%. You can see that from 5 to 4 years ago, that is an increase. Dropped during COVID, dropped 2 years ago. That's perfectly understandable. And then a massive spike from 2 to 1 year ago. See, I really wish the other two profit metrics look like this, because this to me isn't necessarily too bad. Yes, they're still lower than that of 4 years ago and even 5 years ago, but you can see that from 5 to 4, they were increasing it. So if this trend continues, I think that this will be rather good. We can just ignore the two outliers when it comes to COVID, and well, I know I'm actually going to give this, guys, like a 60%. Looking now into the assets minus the liabilities. This thing is just crashing down to the ground. Ever since COVID, they just took a massive dump. And I'll give it to them. They don't have negative assets minus liabilities, which is good, but they're barely there. They're just barely there. Average total assets, it is $18.21 billion. Average liabilities, it is $15.53 billion. Doing the difference, we get $2.677 billion. You know what, guys? I'm actually going to give this like a 50%, even though this is just a massive, massive drop. You can see that 5 to 4, they were increasing this. COVID hit, they haven't recovered, but at least they're not in the negatives, which is why I'm going to give them a 50%. Looking at the cash flow minus the liabilities, this is not surprising in the slightest. I mean, just massive, massive drops, even from the 5 years ago mark. You can just see that this thing never once did they try to increase it. As of 1 year ago, they're at negative 20 billion. As of the average, it is negative 15.2 billion. Oh man, this is just, it's difficult. I'm gonna have to say, guys, I have to give this one 0%. They're not giving me even the slightest increase here. And I get COVID, but at the same time, you couldn't have given me one increase back here. So 0%. Shares outstanding, it's not surprising either. We could see that 5 years ago of 217.7 million shares to today of 425.2 million shares. That is a massive increase of 95.31%. And from the previous year to the current year, it is an increase of less than 1%, around 0.9. Now, well, obvious here, the biggest jumps were 3 and 2 years ago, right? From 4 to 3 and then from 3 to 2. However, something to note though, they were decreasing. I really wish I could take a look at much further back, but from 5 to 4, they were decreasing this. COVID hit, then they just increased it ever since. But you can see that the increase from 2 to 1 and then from 1 to today, it aren't that big. So I'm actually going to give this, I can't really blame them for COVID. I really, really can't. So I'm actually going to give this, guys, the bare minimum of 70% as a pass. And lastly, cash and equivalents, we got last year of $899.1 million with an average of $1.2 billion. The overall grade, guys, not surprising that it's this low, with a net income of 10, free cash flow of 5, revenue 60, assets minus liabilities 50, cash flow minus liabilities 0, and shares outstanding of 70, overall grade of 31%. The fundamentals just aren't there, and it's unfortunate because maybe if COVID never hit, maybe this would be different, right? Maybe this would be different. But maybe if you like this company and you believe that they'll recover, because let's face it, I don't think people are going to stop going on cruises, right? I don't think that at all. It's just that right now, it's looking very, very weird when it comes to the fundamentals, right? Can they recover? Yes. I don't believe that they can't. But how long will it take to recover, right? Is your ROI going to be like 20 years? Like to essentially just match what you invested in, right? Or is it going to be much faster? It really just depends. It's very, very weird, right? This is a very, very risky company to begin with. However, let's actually see if at the current share price, this is looking like a buy. So, looking at the discounted free cash flow, doesn't work. It just doesn't work at all. Guys, not inputting anything. This is telling me $653. What? That's crazy. Now, I guess you could say, oh, that's because of the little shares outstanding. Right, they don't have the billions of shares, they're only in the hundreds of millions of shares. But still, I don't see this. I really don't. This is also a case that you have just spikes in either direction when it comes to the profit metrics. Nothing's really that consistent. So I couldn't put some numbers. I could say that they're going to continue to issue shares at like, I don't know, 100% in the future. And even that is still just, yeah, I just don't know, man. This company is just so weird to me. This is one that I would just take a look at the book value. So let's do that right now. So when taking a look at the book value, man, we could just see the massive drop. As of today, guys, the book value, it is 4 cents. So the company should be worth 4 cents. There you go. And when it comes to the tangible book value, negative $1.37. Yeah, this is what I mean that I do not know how to value this company. I just don't. Like, straight up. There are just some companies I just don't know how to value, guys. Some of them are just way too complicated. The fundamentals just don't make any sense. So just looking at this valuation, I'm just throwing my hands up and I'm just like, I don't know. In this case, because the book value and the discounted free cash flow don't seem to, one is in the negative when it comes to the book value, I would just follow the fundamentals, guys. Fundamentals 31%. It isn't there for me. This is a major skip. Obviously, not financial advice. Every investment is the present value of all future cash flow. Please do your own due diligence. I don't like this company. I don't condone on buying this company. I don't condone buying any company, to be fair. But specifically with this one, I'm not that big of a fan. So if you do want to invest in it, if you know something I don't know, do your own due diligence and you do whatever you want with your money. I'm fairly libertarian when it comes to that. So just do as you guys want. Again, not financial advice. However, if you do want this calculator, guys, it's all in the description below. It does work for other companies. I have hundreds of videos here where I show the calculator actually working, and I actually figure it's pretty accurate. Not 100%, right? Nothing's 100%, but it's fairly accurate in most cases. All of this is linked in the description below. And of course, if you would like to help us in our endeavors to make this YouTube thing / Rumble thing a company, guys, just like, subscribe, comment, and of course share. It really does help. I do have a plan on making a very special video this weekend. Kind of want to make it as a reaction or like a response video to another channel that I like. However, they did a video recently that I just don't agree with, so I would like to rebut them, I guess you could say. So I do want to do that this weekend, so be on the lookout for that. And again, the best way that you guys can help us, if you would like to help us, it is by liking, subscribing, commenting, and of course sharing. Thank you all so much for doing that if you have done that. And if you're new here, welcome. We really do appreciate it. And yeah, of course, guys, thank you all so much. We really do appreciate it. And when taking a look at the options change for October 20th, we can see that there's actually some puts over here. Not for a lot of premium though, but still you can see that for a strike of $14.50, you got $15. And look at the call side, the call side is actually where it's at. You got for a strike of $15, $31, and for a strike of $15.50, $12. So here are the options change for October 20th, 2023. All in all, thank you so much for the recommendation, Red Firefly. And yeah, I mean, it's a company that I just don't know where to put it at. I really don't. I've also never been in a cruise. My wife has, but I've never been in a cruise, and I don't know how it would feel like being stranded on the ocean in a cruise. I don't know. But regardless though, this is just my 2 cents. Again, guys, do whatever you want with this information. If you want to buy this company, then so be it. If you don't, then so be it. But anyways, that pretty much does it. Make sure to follow us, and the new tech sites link is in the description below. So with that said, peace out, and we'll see you all next time.